see the thumbnail. Today we talk about Giannis to the Boston Celtics, man. Giannis to the Boston Celtics. Now, as of right now, I don't really see a trade scenario possible unless you let go of Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown for Giannis straight up. The money makes sense. The talent makes sense. You let Giannis go out there and thug it out this playoffs by himself, and you wait for Tatum next year, and then you got Tatum and Giannis on the same squad for years to come. It's a squad that I believe can win more championships. Now, Brown and Tatum together, can they win more championships? Yes. Is it likely? No. But Tatum and Giannis Antetokounmpo, that's a nice match made in heaven. So, what we're going to cover right now, now realistically speaking, I don't believe that that a trade can happen before the trade deadline on February 5th, unless a third team comes in to help. And that's what's going to be the same scenario for all of these trades. Because Milwaukee, in order to maximize Milwaukee in all these scenarios, they're going to need a third team to bring Giannis in. Because all these teams aren't like terrible teams that plan to have a high draft pick. So even just with that being said, man, I don't really see a trade happening before February 5th because of the money and how the money look funny, unless a third team comes in to help. But with that being said, let's get to it. Let's take a look at what Colin had to say about Giannis being traded to the Bucks.
Celtics said, we'll give you Jaylen Brown and Derek White, Holiday, and a pick. Give us Giannis.
Yeah,
and then the Celtics going forward would have a Giannis, Jason Tatum nucleus.
No, first of all, I think that's great. And you're not going to get much better on the market than Jaylen Brown and Derek White in draft picks.
So
I would do that in a second if I was Brad Stevens.
If Milwaukee is true to their word and saying that they want a blue chip player, what's better than Jaylen Brown and Derek White?
I don't think you give up White and Holiday. You give up one or the other and Jaylen Brown. And all of a sudden, Boston's got this runway where, I don't know, you talk three-peat? Giannis and Tatum together? Colin, there might be something there.
I like it. Let's move on to the next. So we got Drew Holiday talking about his old teammate, Giannis.
One thing that makes each of these people that you've played with so special. So let's start off with Giannis.
Giannis, I think it's his attitude, like not only toward the game, but to life.
And that's my thing with Giannis. With Giannis and a lot of, players, from overseas that come and play in the NBA, they have a certain loyalty to them that, a lot of American-born players don't, because, if you're born in Chicago but you play in Minnesota, you still might have love for Chicago to where you want to go back to your hometown and play for your hometown. When you have a guy coming over from Greece getting plopped in Milwaukee, I think he was maybe the last pick of the lottery, or maybe even the first pick outside the lottery. Giannis is going to be fully indebted to the city. He's going to be fully indebted to Milwaukee. So he will be hesitant to leave just because of the loyalty that comes with him and the person that he is. That's why, even though we're going over all these trade scenarios, really nothing probably going to happen to the summertime, really, because is Giannis really willing to leave where he's called home for all these years? Now, if I'm Giannis, I'm leaving, because you go to New York, you're going to have a big Greek fan base. Florida has the largest Greek population in the country. So places where Giannis is rumored to be traded to, in my eyes, in my opinion, have a larger Greek community where Giannis will feel right at home no matter what team he goes to, whether it's Miami, New York, LA, you name it.
Like, he's a super
Boston has a huge Greek community.
Super positive person. Everything that he does and puts his mind to, it does it like 150%. But he's also this genuine person where he appreciates everything. And I think it's probably because of like how he grew up.
His beginnings.
His story, like literally getting it out of the mud.
Yeah, a guy like him, he look at Milwaukee, he really appreciate Milwaukee. You get a nigga from DC, you get a nigga from LA, you get a nigga from New York, and you plop them in Milwaukee, they're not gonna have no appreciation for the city, bro.
And where he is now.
it's not really. I guess you could say it's because of how he grew up, but it's just where he grew up. He grew up in a whole entirely different country. If you grew up in your city, if you grew up in Miami, Florida, and then you became a professional, and when you're professional, you got sent to Milwaukee, you're going to be looking at going back home at some point in time. You're going to have more loyalty to that team from the hometown rather than the team you've been playing for.
Now he does not take that for granted. So how he treats people and how he handles like the fame and all that, me and my wife talk about it all the time. Like, it's so graceful, like the way that he does it. He makes people feel like they're important. And I feel like that's kind of a skill that like a lot of people don't really have, especially when you honestly have every right, if we're at the zoo and he's with his family, like we're with our
To
family.
say no, yeah.
Yeah, to say no, but he still like makes everybody feel included and doesn't really make anybody feel bad in that sense. So yeah, that's cool about him.
What is
All right, so he a good teammate.
I don't see how Giannis can stay. The Bucks are in such a weird spot because they don't control any of their own picks the next 6 years.
Damn, they don't control any of their picks the next 6 years. You got rid of Dame Lillard and you left Giannis by himself. Damn. You left Giannis by himself. Damn. You left Giannis by himself. Damn.
So they can't tank. They have no cap space. They don't have any young players that you're just super excited about. And so it's going to be fake trade season with Giannis. There's two that I made that are really interesting. One is to the Rockets, where you get Şengün, Reed Shepherd, who was a top 5 pick, Jock Landale for salary filler, and then 4 draft picks, 2 of which are super valuable. The Phoenix 27 and 29 first, and the Houston 28 and 31st. And then the other one, there is a trade with the Spurs where you offer them Giannis. So Giannis and Wemby.
I'm stopping any Giannis to the Spurs talk, bro. I don't see it happening. Let's stick to Boston.
So let's find a way to get.
And the reason why we bring Boston, because Boston be getting friggity, man. Like Boston will be lurking in the background and make a trade that no one's seen coming. Yeah, you got Tatum and you got Brown. You got White. You know what I'm saying? I still see the Celtics as a contender because they willing to get slimy with it and make a trade and send Brown out. I can see it. I can see it happening. Giannis for Jaylen Brown straight up and some picks from a third team or whatever.
Get Giannis Antetokounmpo to the Boston Celtics, Greg. Here's what I came up with, and it's a doozy.
All right.
And this will definitely include picks going to different places here. So we're not going to get into what picks going where, but I would
So
get
you got
into
the
what
Mavericks.
to
You got the
different
Mavericks
places.
as the third team. Oh, it's a 4-team trade, actually. I like it. Let's see what it says. Okay. So the Celtics acquire Maxwell Lewis, Deron Sharp, Giannis, Spencer Dinwiddie. Okay. The next gets Sam Hauser.
Here. So
Who else is that? Maybe Daniel Gafford. The Bucks acquired Jaylen Brown, PJ Washington. See, this keeps the Browns getting. I mean, not the Bucks getting Jaylen Brown keeps them in contention, and it prevents them from basically collapsing. Jaylen Brown gets to go play for a former Celtics coach. We've seen that they don't have their next 6 draft picks. They don't have any control over them. So Milwaukee needs to be, man, Milwaukee sucks, bro. Do you see their owner? I made a video earlier, a couple of days ago, where Milwaukee ready to deal Giannis. 3rd or 4th team needed to make deal happen. Just about any scenario, a 3rd or 4th team is needed, except for the Celtics, though, because they got a guy that can go straight up. And they got some picks. But teams are needed to offload bad contracts. You dig what I'm saying? It's just that when you look at this scenario, The Bucks can't tank. You know, we heard it earlier. The Bucks don't have the option to tank because they don't have control over their draft picks. It looks like the Mavericks getting Drew Holiday. I actually like this scenario right here. If the money matches, the money makes sense. The Nets are probably getting the least back because they probably got the most cap space available to make the trade happen. All right. Is there anywhere we could send Anthony Davis to? Can you send Anthony Davis to the Bucks? So the Bucks get Jaylen Brown and Anthony Davis. Take out PJ. Send PJ to the Nets. Send Drew Holiday to the Nets. And I guess the Mavericks get. I guess we're going to have to do our homework on that one because now we got 4 teams in the mix. But yeah, man, there are possible trade scenarios where Boston can get a little friggity with it and make a big trade happen.
Here, so we're not going to get into what picks going where, but I would assume in this trade, the Celtics are going to have very little pick equity once this is all said and done.
Oh,
But
yeah.
for the Celtics, let's start here. This is a 4-team trade. We got the Celtics, the Nets, the Bucks, and the Mavericks yet again. Mavericks, I'm really putting a lot of stock in them being interested in Drew Holiday. This is the 3rd different trade we have with Drew Holiday going to the Mavericks. So for the Celtics, outgoing, they have Sam Hauser, Jaylen Brown, and Drew Holiday. So all 3 guys at once. This is how we're going to try to make this work here. Incoming in a variety of different ways and shapes and forms. Celtics have Maxwell Lewis, Day'Ron Sharpe, Spencer Dinwiddie, and Giannis Antetokounmpo, and all while saving $23.6 million.
That's crazy.
If you can believe that. If you can believe that.
Well done, sir.
Hey, listen, Spot Trek said it was okay. So let's find a way to get Giannis.
It's possible, man. I'm telling you, it's possible. The Boston Celtics could be lurking back there.
And look, the upside is Giannis can be the centerpiece, carrying a team a little bit better than Jaylen can because of the sheer gravity that Giannis demands. I think Giannis can be the heliocentric star that carries a team until Jason comes back, and then you got 2 stars like that for a few more years, and then you deal with the aftermath after that. So I can see the Celtics considering it. But, you know, you still run into a lot of the same problems that you have with Jaylen here.
I don't believe that. You know what I'm saying? If you get rid of Jaylen Brown for Giannis, that changes the outlook for the Boston Celtics completely. Because unlike Tatum, I don't believe Tatum could have played the role that Giannis played in Milwaukee and Boston. But I believe Giannis could play the role that he plays in Milwaukee no matter where he goes. No matter where he goes. Damn. You know what I'm saying? So I can definitely see a scenario where the Boston Celtics come lurking, and they make a deal that makes sense. They probably convince a 3rd or 4th team to get into the mix. That probably makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So I could definitely see that happen. Damn. Yeah, man. So with that being said, that concludes the video that we got today of Giannis Antetokounmpo being traded to the Celtics. In my humbly true opinion, I believe you can get rid of Jaylen Brown because Giannis and Tatum are a better duo. They mesh together better than Brown and Tatum. You know what I'm saying? So Giannis and Tatum is better than Brown and Tatum. Yes, they won a championship, yes. But you got 2 great players together. Y'all should have probably been won a championship, to be honest. It probably was a little late. But y'all won it nonetheless. If Boston wants to continue their success and they want to get out of this stagnant consolidation period that they're in, they want to be title contenders, title favorites, championship favorites, you go and you get Giannis Antetokounmpo straight up for Jaylen Brown. All right. So with that being said, man, if you like the video, if you want to see more videos like this, if you're a fan of the NBA, you're a fan of sports in general, you're a fan of Giannis, you're a fan of the Bucks, you're a fan of the Celtics, man, like, comment, subscribe, beat up the comment section. Let us know what other videos you want us to cover. Let us know what other scenarios we need to cover, what other narratives we need to cover, and we be sure to get to it as soon as we can. It's that man, our boo. It's brother man, and we gone.
Let's just get to the point.
All right, let's get to it.